long as you're good here.
Yeah, let me just...
Oh, should have did that in the microphone.
I was hoping it was silent, dude.
What?
Thankfully, we're not sneaky. He didn't hear it. He can't hear shit. He's got hearing loss.
What?
This the Buffalo experience. I know that you be hearing this. If you never heard of it, you must be delirious. Tapping if you're serious, we working if you're curious. Experience in Buffalo. Sit down and enjoy the show. This the Buffalo experience.
Let's go. Buffalo.
Yeah, I know that you be hearing this.
Let's go. Buffalo.
This the Buffalo experience.
Let's go. Buffalo.
Yeah, I know that you be hearing this.
This is the Buffalo Experience Podcast. I'm rolling with Big Dave.
I'm Motiques.
And I am Mark Sinsel.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That's not my real voice, though. It's not.
And he's not doing tattoos today.
Yeah,
I'm
not today.
tattooing
Not today. He's
So,
off.
yeah, you guys might notice we're in a little bit of a different surrounding, but yeah, this is the Blue Lagoon
atmosphere,
Studios. It's very, it is very, like, it's got a very interesting vibe in here. It's very calm and relaxing.
Yeah, it's like a vibrator.
Oh, yeah. Makes you want to go into that booth and just make sweet love to the microphone.
Yeah, that booth, that microphone's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole booth is just
This is like perfect for like,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't
what do you
even
think of that? You had your taco and
my taco.
yeah,
He put
Mr.
his taco
Taco
in the
and
mic.
yeah, Mr.
Chopper.
Taco and Chopper.
Choppa.
Get to the chopper.
Those,
Get
those
to
are
the
the
chopper.
those are the boys, man.
Chop, chop.
I love
Do it
them.
now.
Yeah, honestly, man, I really think like if we're gonna talk about maybe recording here once in a while and shit,
Absolutely.
I have Studio One. I have like the pro version, the newest version of it or whatever.
Yes.
So I'm gonna check and see how many downloads I have, because I think you can only like activate it like 5 times until you have to upgrade. So I have it upgraded already at another studio. Now I have it at mine.
So
And then if I did it here, but if I have like 2 more, I could do it here. And then as long as I have 1 more, God forbid I have to get a new computer. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Because the
You can always-
MacBook, you can't
well,
just.
Yes, you can.
Well, it's not a MacBook. So if I would upgrade to a MacBook.
Okay, that's not a MacBook. Wherever else?
Well, no, that's just a MacBook Air. So it's
Okay.
it's a piece of shit.
Okay.
You know. But
So I guess
the Windows though, yeah,
Oh, the window.
it's a Windows computer desktop that
Oh.
I have. So if I were to buy a computer, I'd buy one similar to yours.
Okay,
And then I
Oh,
would
yeah.
have to activate another license
Yeah.
for that, you know.
but just so you know, like, let's say I've done it before. We could always take everything that's on this computer and put it on a backup, and then I can put it to you, to your computer, and just imprint everything on that computer onto that computer, and then you just activate your computer in your name, but all the programs stay in your name, whatever's name it was in. And you're still
Oh.
active, and you don't have to change the password to reactivate.
Really?
You're just taking.
It's like a mirror. Mirrors.
I can mirror it. I did it multiple times on multiple
Oh
computers.
shit!
Yeah,
And then
that's
you just have to
pretty
reactivate like your
Just
your
your-
plugins.
No, you don't even have to do
Like-
that. That's all. It takes your imprint. Like, let's say if you had a catastrophic failure on your computer, you can be. This happened to me. My MacBook. I was riding my motorcycle, and
What kind of bike? You got a bike?
I had a Harley. Yeah, 1200. I boarded out to 14 something.
Oh, Sportster or something?
yeah, it was
nice.
it was called a Nightster, but it's a sports.
Oh, the night. Okay, yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
and,
They just dropped the price of that by like $8,000 overnight.
Jeez. I bought mine for 7 and sold it for 7, and I rode
Really?
it for 3 years, so I was happy with the.
Hey,
that's
there you
cool.
go.
Oh yeah.
And but
I
I
just
I
bought
did
one.
work to it.
But so back to what you were saying.
I can paint yours, you guys see the paint job I did on mine, but
Hey,
I
I need a paint job on mine
got
actually.
you. I got you. I do it right here in the garage.
Cool.
And so basically, my MacBook wasn't opening, and I get to the MacBook guys, Geek Squad or what? Not Geek Squad. What do they got there?
Guitar Center?
No, no, Apple Store. What do they got? Is it not Geek Squad,
Apple support,
but whatever it is there.
yeah.
similar to Geek
The
Squad,
Geek
but for
Bumper,
Apple.
whatever they got
But
there.
for Apple, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I went to Apple, and they couldn't get my computer to turn on. I'm like, I can get it to turn on, okay, but I need to recover it. So go get me a hard drive.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be like every IT guy ever
I'm a nerd.
and just say, hey, have you tried turning it on and off
Right.
again?
So
But yeah, I also tried throwing it at a
it's
fucking wall.
crazy how
Now
many situations I was in where I had to tell a person whose job it was to tell me how to fix it,
Right, to do computer
to
stuff
help
like
them fix it
Yeah.
for me, and pay them to help me fix it, which
Yep.
is weird. So I was able to get it to turn on a certain. You had to hold a few buttons to get it turned on. It turned on. It was enough time to transfer everything over to that hard drive, and then they took that hard drive replaced mine because it was still under warranty, put it in there, and I was able to take everything off and put it back on. And I had to do nothing. I didn't have to do any passwords or nothing because it just takes your imprint and puts it right on there.
Right.
So you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
Get
didn't
to
know
the
you
studio.
could
Yeah,
do
but
that.
you could do that with, because like, so for instance, your MacBook is under your iCloud, right?
Yes, but it'll be all my stuff under my iCloud.
And then I would just
But you just
change it
change
to
your
my
iCloud.
iCloud, and I would have your imprint.
Yes.
So all your nudes and everything that you
All
ever,
my nudes and everything.
everything.
Yeah, everything.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Let's do it, buddy.
Yeah. I got it.
He's gonna be freaking
Spanking
making
it.
sweet love in that booth over there. In
Making
a
some
few
yogurt.
minutes,
You
know?
probably
Yeah,
got
exactly.
tattoos on every crevice of your body. I'm sure. I'm trying to see something.
I'm trying to see something. No, there is this one guy who tattooed almost his whole body except his wiener. But his ass, everything is tattooed.
I always
shit.
wanted
Nice.
to, and this is like a long time from now, but like if I got like, here's my thing: if I got like a couple
Fuck you,
$1 million
money.
in the bank, I'm gonna start doing some dumb tattoos. You know what I mean?
I'd be doing
I'm
some
gonna
dumb shit too.
Because at that point, you got a little. I'm not gonna have to worry about if I can get a job or not. That's
Right.
my thing. It's like I don't want to fucking
Yeah.
lose. I don't want to be freaking unemployed because I
Yeah.
did something stupid. You know what I mean?
Like you're
Right.
down bad, and
But-
your last option was you have to get a job.
I will tattoo a $100 bill on my wiener.
See how fast someone can
2
blow
million subscribers.
Yeah, exactly. She wants to blow $100. I got you.
it. I got you. Or you could put your name on it, and you'd be like, "Hey, I bet you I got your name tattooed on my wiener."
Hey, that's a good idea.
Like,
It'd be
yeah. And then once you
YN.
show it,
I'll have
It
to
would
try
say
that.
YN,
I'll have
but
to
when
try
it got
that in
hard, it'd be
bars.
Your name,
I'll have to try that in a bar sometime.
right?
And
Then
if she
when you
doesn't
show
believe
it
me,
to
I'll
her-
just whip it out in a
yeah,
bar. You know.
show it to her, and you weren't lying.
Yep.
You weren't lying,
Exactly.
because then she can't be upset because the joke is so great.
Oh yeah.
know?
So I'm gonna give a little backstory. Obviously, these guys are talking to the sound audio engineering stuff that I have no clue what the hell they're talking about. But it's a little
Widgets.
bit of backstory. We came here before we shot this podcast, and we had King Taco and Choppa here, and Motiques and Mark were messing around with audio stuff.
The board, the recordings, the
The vicinity
station,
that the camera's sitting on.
the station.
Hey, it's people out there know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
But
Hey, look at, I do got a Digitech vocalist right there.
hey, look at
I forgot I got that. I think
Oh,
it has
yeah.
auto-tune on there.
Oh no shit.
I forgot about that.
that.
Nice.
These
See, I
these
told
two
you,
are
I got so
geeking
much
out
stuff
over here,
here.
and I don't know what half
I
this
have so-
fucking
I have so
shit
much-
is.
I have so much equipment here. I don't even know what half of it does, but I do know what most of it
This
does.
place
Yeah, I know
literally,
what you mean.
you know what? Can I tell you something? The Blue Lagoon's almost like a very fitting name because I feel like I'm walking through a jungle
It is
of like all audio equipment.
right.
It's awesome.
I feel like I could feel the waves, like I'm in the bottom of a ship. Don't you feel like you're in like a pirate ship?
Yes.
It
I feel
does
like that's
have,
the vibe it gives me. I don't know
it
why.
does have very pirate
There's a
ship type
backstory
vibes.
here, though. There's a backstory on how this place came about, and it was really interesting. So, my sister met this guy, and they were dating for a while, and they decided to get married and have a kid and all that good stuff. And Steve owned this place. And
Okay, Steve was the
Steve's my brother-in-law now,
okay.
and he owned this house. And I came here a few times, and I walked in, and there was like Stacey Rain was here recording, and then Street Soprano and like some of the Buffalo guys were here recording.
Yeah.
Flow Rider.
Flow
I'd
Rider.
say that's
like,
pretty sweet.
whole bunch
Hey,
of people
listen,
coming
yeah.
to this
We'll be
place,
getting into that, yeah.
And I walked in here and they were, they were doing their thing, and like I didn't think nothing of it. And then fast forward to maybe a year later, and my friend David from Nashville was up here, and he was just hanging out, staying with me. I was going through some, hard time in my life, so I was just like, I'm glad he was here, and he was there for me, and it was a tough situation I was going through, but
Oh yeah.
love, breakups, shit like that.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah,
help a hand
and
sometime,
he was here, and he's in a band. He's a musician. He's a seasoned musician. His parents were in music. His dad played for Loretta Lynn, and
Oh wow. Okay.
people
Yeah.
like that. And like he played for the president. Like
Yeah.
his dad. A lot of tenure there down in Nashville. They worked for Waylon Jennings and like.
Oh wow.
Or was it Waylon Jennings? Loretta Lynn, a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, those like country
All
singers,
country
right?
singers,
Yeah.
and he's born and raised, and he's been in some really cool bands.
Yeah.
You know, with Hank Williams Jr., which is Shelton.
Yep.
Shelton, Williams and Hank the Third, and but he was up here and he said, you know what? He called his band. He's like, I think we should record here, not in Nashville.
Yeah.
And to do something like this in Nashville is it on a personal level, where you can stay at the recording studio, sleep, eat, and drink, and go out and do things and just record here.
Yeah. Well,
they came here and recorded their album here, and I got asked to play on the album. It's a band called Freebase Masons, and they put out their third volume. I think
I was going to ask you about that because I actually seen the sticker right over there.
Yeah, there's a sticker up there, and they had a song called "Take Up the Rock," and they wanted me to play on it, and they wanted some blazing. How David told me is he told the other bandmates that they wanted me to play some blazing Slayer style riffs. Well, this is my Slayer guitar. I mean, I've been in a Slayer tribute band for like 30 years. I've been with Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
I've hung out with Slayer. I've met them many times. Did a lot of cool things with them. I used to be a roadie for other bands, so I was on tour with a lot of cool bands. And I got to hang out with a lot of people. And I used to tattoo a lot of people, on the road. And I tattooed a lot of famous musicians and things.
Yeah.
And they wanted some blazing Slayer. Well, I know how to play Slayer because that's all I've ever loved to play.
Right, yeah.
And they wanted some Slayer style solos in their song, and they just turned me loose, and they all left the studio.
I
was down here with the engineer, Austin, great kid, amazing. He produced and engineered the whole album. I think it's his first time actually producing an album.
No shit.
He was kind of nervous, but he did it.
Cool.
And I laid the tracks down, and he's so intuitive because we were, and he's my resident. Anytime I need anything, Austin's the man. He's coming down here to do that.
Yeah.
And he's so intuitive. I play me the song, twiddling away. I'm like, okay, I think I want to play that. He goes, oh, I already got it. If you're cool with that, I'm like, wait, what? And he played it back for me. I'm like, oh, okay, let's move to the next solo. And I played the next solo, twiddling around. And I'm like, I'm not happy with that one. Hold on. He's so good at catching it in the moment.
Right. Yeah.
And I did it. And second take, on the second solo, second take, done. Third solo is like a trail weird, like we call it the Urethra Franklin.
Urethra.
Yeah, well, they wanted to call it the ethereal sequence, but I don't know why I put it out there as the Urethra Franklin.
I think that's like one of my favorite parts about metal bands is the names of everything is just it's always funny, but has like a dark kind of like morbid undertone to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So we put that
like necromancer fleshlight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good one though.
Hell yeah!
It's like,
hey, don't steal my song title, okay?
It's like having sex with the dead in your dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that'll wake you up.
Another Slayer song, "Dead in Your Dreams." Dead Skin Nest. But yeah, so he turned me loose on that. It was just like I was just doing some some scratches on the board and just some weird sounds and I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for that. And he's like, dude, it sounds great. He played it back. I'm like, it's amazing. So then right after that, I had to go into a blazing solo. It took me a few times to get into it.
Yeah.
But I heard it and then I ended and I just had to end it like that. Great song. I think it's a 3 or 4 minute song. We do have it in here somewhere.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll sample that for the video.
Actually, I think
if you want to send that over, we could probably
send that over.
Sample that over and maybe play a little sample of that blazing solo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there was another guy, Daryl. He came in. He's another good guy. He's another good musician. He came in. He's from Siegeworm, a bunch of other stuff. He's a really good musician, and he came and recorded on another song in here.
Okay.
With the same band, but they came in. I think they were here for over a week.
Yeah.
And they had an in-house cook.
Damn.
They slept here.
That's pretty cool.
All very comfortable, nice fire. Yeah. Good place. Good food, good eats.
Oh yeah, you got the fireplace up there. This place is actually very comfortable. It's like a super comfortable place to record.
Yeah. And I know I went off track because I was telling about Steve how he owned it.
Yeah.
But they were interested in moving to Tennessee. Not Nashville, but outside of Nashville. And they wanted to go to down south, and they were looking to sell the house, and like, and I remember being here recording that night, and just feeling the vibe, and everybody was so nice and so cool. And then all of a sudden, I was like, didn't tell this to anybody, but I said to myself, I'm like, I would live here. This is a
Oh yeah.
really cool house. It's like the setup's cool. It's my style, like the wood and the weird stuff. Like, did you see the weird?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
This is honestly, this is perfect because this is what I was literally just about to ask you. It's like, how did you end up owning this studio?
Yeah, they wanted to
house,
move, and they asked me to buy the house, and I'm like, I'm not really in a position to put a down payment on the house or anything, but I mean, I'm glad to buy the house, but I mean,
right.
like at that time, 2 years ago, I wasn't in a position to put a down payment and all that. I'm
Right.
like, no, listen, we're gonna sign the house over you. You're gonna assume the mortgage.
Oh,
And
that's
you're going to
perfect.
take everything in the house, including the studio.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then we can bounce tracks back and forth from here to Tennessee. I'm north and they're south,
yeah.
and, and I was like, wait, really? This is October of 23.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's pretty recent.
Yeah,
It's a couple
October
years.
23. I think they asked me in October, and I moved in November.
No shit.
It happened so fast. But I'm like, really? This is too good to be true. There's no way you're just going to give me the house. I mean, I know there's a lot more to pay on the house. I mean, I assume.
Well,
more
yeah.
Oh, we went to a notary, signed everything. Everything's, everything was given to me. I got my own insurance on the house, and
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate. And Steve's a great guy. My sister's, she's always been a great person. Me and her were like peas in a pod. Like, you couldn't separate us. She was the youngest. I was the middle child.
Yeah.
And you couldn't separate us from your kids. And still to this day, I'm 51 years old and still can't separate me and my sister. We are still that close.
Oh yeah.
And I believe she's the one who like maybe brought up to him to do that. And I'm just very fortunate, to have people like that in my life. And
Yeah, that's awesome.
this house has been a blessing. But like, I love the studio and I use it often.
Yeah.
I'm always down here twiddling, always tweaking things. Like I said, I had the app on my phone. I think I told you too.
Yeah, he was talking to us about the guitar amp over there with
I got
with an app that he can
Boss.
actually control, so he
All
can
my
just
sounds.
shred and literally tap his phone, and
Yeah. And the cool thing
next
is,
thing you know, he's got a phaser on or something cool
Yeah.
like that.
the cool thing is,
sweet.
Jason, the guy who was the guitar player singer on Freebase Masons,
Yeah.
has the exact same amp, and I bought it because he had that amp.
Yeah.
So when he comes back here to record,
Also, he knows what. Yeah.
all he has to do is send me his file
Oh, for the sound and everything.
for his
so he
sound,
can
and
literally.
I upload it to my amp, and that's it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He also all he has to do is send me the file. He doesn't even have to bring his amp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's
man.
amazing.
It's
you know?
amazing, the technology.
Technology is great.
Yeah.
Well, I was even saying, like, for you, you grew up in a time where you didn't have that technology,
Yeah.
especially
It's
when you were
very true.
younger. Like, you weren't able to do anything like that.
No,
There's no
I mean,
way.
we had I had the RP7 Digitech. It was a nice guitar pedal. And then when the RP2000 came out, you can actually go online and download patches. So if you had like a guy like you wanted to play like, Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or whoever, man, because I was in a cover band and we used to do a lot of bar scenes, and I was playing like Pink Floyd, Filter, oh wow, this is going back. Good stuff though, like Toad the Wet Sprocket, Radiohead,
Yeah.
bar band stuff, Bare
Yeah, for
Naked
sure.
Ladies, things like that.
Yeah.
And Moist and Tragically Hip, great bands. We did a lot of their songs. And
It's my favorite word.
yeah, favorite song. A lot of good songs. I know you like that.
I love that word.
Yeah,
Moist.
moist.
So many people. So many people do not like that word.
I know why. Why? I don't get it.
You know why? I'll tell you why I love it. I love it because it makes people uncomfortable.
It's like,
It's the one word you say it and 50-50 people get grossed out.
like moist.
Moist. Moister than an oyster.
I want to puke on you.
Just get in here, Big Dan.
Now I don't like the word. Now I don't like the word. See how quickly that root.
Just
word
like
gets
what
that.
ruined?
happens. This
See,
is what
just
happens.
like that, we made him uncomfortable.
I mean, I felt like you were in my ear, man.
Does this feel better?
Oh my god! All right,
Cut.
What are we at? 20
He's
minutes?
got the voice for porn commentary. Let me tell you.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of porn
delicious
commentary.
Delia coming over here.
Look at the way he flipped her over.
Look at that. Yeah. He's flipping her over like a big old buffoon. Look at that. Oh, yeah, spin her around.
How did he get her to hang like that?
Yeah. Oh, he's doing a helicopter dick. Oh, look at that.
Just wait. Can you just say, "Oh yeah, wink your stink star at me"?
Oh, wink your stink star at me, baby.
All right, that's
This
it.
is awful. I don't even think we've asked him a question yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Ask me
I
a
love
question.
it,
I mean,
man.
are we gonna call? Did you want to call
I
Steve
do actually
today?
have a question for you.
I think that's not a bad idea. Yeah, for sure.
We can
Yeah,
definitely do
we'll talk to the original owner of the
Oh yeah.
Blue Lagoon, but we
So-
can get into asking you some questions.
So you've owned the place for a couple of years now. What do you have like a regular engineer that comes here regularly that's like available for people or like
Yeah, I got
how
this
do
kid
you-
Austin.
Okay, I was gonna add like your random musician. They find you on Facebook. How do they come in here?
Well, most of it's word of mouth.
and-
I mean, like it's difficult, like it's most of it's word of mouth and me talking to people like you guys, now, and you know what I have here and you know what we can do here.
Right.
Because when you brought in Chapa and El Taco, and
Del Taco.
Del Taco.
Del Taco.
Del Taco is great, by the way. Down in
I've never
San
had it.
Diego. It's
Never
pretty
had
good,
it.
pretty good. And but what we can accomplish here is it's you're not going to get a studio like this anywhere.
Yeah,
We
this is
have
pretty rare
literally
when it comes to studios.
Everything you need.
Yeah.
And we have like a $10,000 vocal mic. You guys heard how great that makes people sound. It's just it's so crystal clear, you know.
You know what? It's honestly what does it for me is a combination of like nice quality audio equipment, and we can also be fat upstairs and make food.
Yeah, absolutely.
This place is sweet.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
It's like
'Cause
a dream.
I'm a fat boy. I love
And you
music.
see, I had the TV
but
over the
He's talking about
fireplace.
the food. He doesn't even care about the equipment. Let's just be real here.
I mean, come on,
Give
we're
him a
fat guys,
guitar,
we
an
want
amp, and a
food.
cheeseburger, and he's
Listen,
fine.
if you had $10,000 worth of bacon in front of me or a $10,000 mic, I would get
I'll take
rock
the
hard for that bacon.
I'll take the bacon with the microphone.
Yeah.
I'll just wrap the microphone up in bacon and eat it. So
Hey, there you go.
and record me going.
Yeah, exactly.
Just bacon greasy.
ASMR.
no lettuce, tomato, nothing, just straight bacon.
Just bacon.
no
Yeah.
eggs.
We're gonna have a bacon
Piece of
sandwich.
toast.
Hell yeah.
So what you do is you layer the bacon, like weave it, and then you put a bacon lettuce. We'll call it bacon lettuce, but it's gonna be bacon made of lettuce.
Yeah,
Lettuce
but
made
you
of
got to
bacon.
like chop it to kind of look like
Yeah,
lettuce.
and then
So
we're gonna
lettuce
take
made of
a
bacon. Okay.
we're gonna make a tomato shaped piece of bacon
hell yeah.
and some mayonnaise piece of bacon.
And then you got to get like a like
mayonnaise
a
is
round
just the
piece for
grease
for the
spread on the bun.
tomato,
yeah.
and then you got to like chop up a little bit
Well,
for
that's
like
Canadian
a condiment.
bacon. That's the Canadian bacon.
Yeah, there you go.
You
There you
got
go.
those for the tomatoes. Yeah.
So
Well, maybe
let me
that's
just get
the
this
meat.
straight. I am the fattest one here, right?
Right? Maybe. I mean,
Okay.
it's debatable.
I was just making sure because I probably would never eat a sandwich like
It's
that.
master debatable.
But I do love bacon.
So,
had
my
me at
next
bacon.
question is, so what is it? What is the rate for if somebody wanted to come in here and they wanted to book? Let's say they wanted to come in here and book you for 8 hours and wanted to book.
If they want
your
to come in here
engineer.
and I'm not sure what Austin's charging. I'm not. I mean, like honestly, I'm not charging anything. Engineer's charging something, and I was letting him do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah.
So if he comes in here and he brings somebody and he wants to use it for like 4 or 5 hours, he'll charge what he was and he's just throwing me something.
Yeah.
But if I were to do it, I mean, I think the going rate's pretty much like $100 an hour, but I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be like, come in here, let's record a good song,
Yeah.
throw me a few $100, be here all day for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Let's record a couple of good songs,
Oh yeah.
and then establish a relationship. I'm just trying to get, people to come in here and see what this is worth. This place has a lot of potential.
The relationship's a big thing too,
Yeah.
because a lot of people. I mean, I've noticed just like rolling around with him and like all the different artists and whatnot that we interact with is that personal relationship is huge.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody that
yeah, and I know
not
a lot
only
of
knows
artists
what they're
here.
doing, but is like a decent person that you can get along with, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
The chemistry is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
You
I have a
could-
lot of artist
yeah.
friends that record and do things, and like I said, I've had a few people here and there since I've had the place, but nothing crazy, you know. I've mostly been recording a lot myself, but you know, like I said, he and I are establishing a relationship.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring in some people, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
let
sure.
him turn loose on it and do some recording here.
Oh yeah.
And let's see what we can make of it, you know. But anybody's welcome to come down here and record. Like, you know, it's always like I'm always open on Sundays and Mondays for whatever, you know, even Saturdays, even during the week, you know, like after I'm done with work or even early morning sessions. I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
But like, you know, I work my regular job, my artist studio, but this is my, you know, recording studio, and it's just, this place is just too much potential to just let it sit.
Yeah, absolutely,
You know,
man.
everything's mic, the microphone, the drums, the guitars, the amps, the microphones, everything is professionally laid out on the table. I mean, you've seen it. We've used it.
Yeah.
I showed you.
Yeah.
We showed each other how to use the thing, and you know, and we were bouncing the tracks around, and we had a little stuff recorded. You know, yeah, we need to get a few VSTs and things like that going, and a few patches and whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, some auto tune and things that we're gonna need. You know, I got the Beat Laboratory upstairs, like the Step Brother said, but
You didn't say
Yeah.
beat off laboratory, right?
Beat
No.
Off Laboratory, yeah.
Oh, okay. What does that have to do with music?
Well,
He's making sweet music.
you're
with
making your own.
himself.
You're making your own metronome. I
Yeah, exactly.
I call it the meat.
Oh, okay.
He's the meat.
Okay.
The meat
All right. The meat.
So so we know
I keep you
we
in
know
time
how
with my
you
meat.
got we know how you got the house, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that I was thinking about is like, obviously, you know, you own a tattoo shop and you tattoo like
Yeah.
during the week, and you know what I mean? That's like your main thing.
Yeah.
What made you, as like a tattoo shop owner, decide to get a music studio? You know what I mean?
Well, like I
'Cause
said,
that's
it
a
was
different. It's a
given
weird
to
jump
me.
for somebody not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of in the industry, because I
Yeah.
know obviously the people haven't heard the stories, but like I've known you for a while, and I know
Yeah.
you've been in the music industry for a while.
Oh yeah.
but
like I've even saved concerts in the Buffalo happening.
yeah,
Like Bizarre came here. I don't remember how long ago, but Bizarre came here and Big
from
Rich.
D12, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. D12. A few guys from D12 and Bizarre came here, and they went to the town ballroom, and they didn't have town ballroom didn't have the equipment to play their music. He brought on a zip drive,
Yeah,
and at the time they didn't have a plug-in,
yeah.
so they were gonna cancel the whole show.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy.
For a USB,
Yeah.
like,
So what I
compatible.
did is I plugged it into my MacBook, plugged my MacBook into the phone jack,
Yeah,
and played their concert from my. Luckily, I brought it with me
Holy shit.
to the venue because Big Rich just recorded an album, and I designed his album cover and his.
Wait, Big Rich? Like
Big
the
Rich.
rapper?
Yeah,
From Buffalo.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, I know Big
yeah.
Rich.
I designed his.
Yeah.
I designed his whole cover.
For which album?
His sleeve.
Was it recently, or was this
It was a
while
few
ago?
years ago. It was like maybe 10 years ago when I was at the other location.
Okay,
Of
all right.
of Holy Ground,
Yeah.
but I designed.
I think I feel like I've seen Big Rich trying to like promote your shop before. And did he do a video in front of your shop?
Yep. Yeah, he
He
did,
did a music video with Nova.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's literally how I heard
Yeah.
about Big Rich, was because
Yeah.
of Nova shooting that video
Yeah,
at your
so
shop. That's
I think it was
crazy.
there, yeah. I
I'm
think
pretty
that's
sure
where he did it,
your
yeah.
old shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened
Damn.
was he asked me if I can design him an album. You know, I was like, yeah, I could do that. I'm good at Photoshop, so I designed him a really cool album, CDs and all that. And he was doing he was on that bill to play with Big Bizarre and D12 and all that. And Bizarre was like thinking, like, man, I'm not gonna do the show. I can't play my shit, you know. And I'm like, dude, I got you. Don't worry. So I took his USB drive, put it in my, computer, played from the computer, and plugged it in.
hell yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a USB drive. Maybe it was just a CD, and I put the CD in. And
Oh shit.
it might have been
yeah.
a CD. I think
Damn.
it might have been a CD.
That's how you know it was
How
a
did
while
they
ago.
It's a while ago. It was a
How
while
did they
ago.
not
That
have
was a
the
while ago.
setup for it though in a place like
Yeah,
that?
that
I'm
is
thinking
crazy.
they might have had this. Maybe it was a zip drive. Maybe it was on a flash drive, and then I plugged it in my. I remember plugging something in, but
Yeah.
it was a while
How
ago.
else? I mean, how else would they play the music? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
and like they didn't. I don't remember. I think they might have had CD, but they didn't have USB compatible zip drive stuff
yeah.
or whatever. I remember there was something that they couldn't do, and I was like, well, I got my MacBook. Let me run to my car. Ran to my car, grabbed it, plugged it into the soundboard, and we were good. And
Yeah.
they played their show. He was barking off what tracks he wanted me to play for him, what order. He He'd be like 6. I'm like, all right, I play 6.
Yeah.
All right, play 9, but play 9. You know.
That was really cool of
Yeah.
of him to continue with the show, because a lot of headliners were like, nope, screw it,
No,
I'm out of here.
he was all about it. I was
You
like,
know?
dude,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
wild.
I was like, if you got 2 minutes, I can go to my
I've seen
car.
artists literally leave stage for less.
Oh yeah.
I went all the way to Jersey for a Travis Scott concert, and it was like a Neo concert.
Yeah.
Travis Scott and Young Thug were opening for him.
Yeah.
And Young Thug literally started his set, came out on stage, and there was a microphone issue, and he literally just left. And then he comes off at the end and apologizes, like, sorry, the mic didn't work, y'all. And then he left.
I mean, that's a bitch move, man.
Like, for them to go through that,
Yeah,
where they
that's
literally
wild.
the venue couldn't play his music. What else is he supposed to do? And you saved the day.
Dude, just like
and he
I
was
was
still
stuck,
willing to play it with him telling you what tracks to play. Like, that's huge.
I was
That's
stuck in
cool.
a riot because of that shit, you know. I was in Montreal. I think it was Montreal, and Metallica, James Hetfield just got set on fire.
He got. Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
hearing
he
about
got set
that.
on fire.
You were there. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
he got set on fire. I was working that show. He got set on fire, and
I'm so confused.
He don't listen. Yeah.
yeah. So James
That's one
Hetfield
of
got
the-
set on fire during Fade to Black
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
during the solo part.
Yeah. When he walked
Yep.
close to the pyrotechnics.
yeah,
and
it
they
went off
freaking-
too early.
Oh, shit.
And Axl Rose came out, could have done a good show. Bitch, Axl Rose was like, I'm a big baby, well, shit ain't going my way, and he canceled the show, you know, and he just walked off stage just like that and caused a freaking crazy riot.
Well, yeah. I
And we
mean,
didn't know
people
how the
probably
hell we
paid
were gonna
good
get out of
money
it.
to be there.
People are jumping on stage, just throwing shit, breaking things. Like, you know, I'm just a roadie. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, you don't
Yeah.
pay me enough. You know,
You could just get
Yeah.
trampled. That's all
I
it
could have got
takes.
trampled. Like there
Yeah.
was like at least 400 people on stage when I was standing on the stage. I'm like, I'm
Jeez.
out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with that nonsense.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to
Good
do
for
that
those
either.
people.
yeah.
I'd be pissed too.
So so if people want to come and check out the studio, where is the studio located?
It's in West Seneca on Maplewood, and it's a great location. You know, like you know, it's very easy to get to, right off Clinton in West Seneca, Union. Come down Clinton, take
Yeah.
a left on Maplewood, and you know, and they could also contact me through Facebook on my personal page. You know, Mark Sinsel, you know, Instagram, you know, TikTok, wherever you want to contact me from.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, I'm available whenever. You know, I mean, it takes me a minute to get to people sometimes because I'm very busy with the
Yeah,
tattoo
so
studio.
be patient with him. You know,
but
he's
I mean,
got
I
some
do
stuff
get
going on.
I do get back with you, you know, back to you within the day.
Yeah, no, you are very good about that too. Every time I text you, you know, sometimes it'll be a minute, but you always get back to me. So
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm guilty of like forgetting and then you don't hear from me at all. Like I'm really bad.
I
at
have done
so
that,
It's
and-
good that you know.
And customers know, and I try to express this the most. I should have said this during the tattoo podcast, but if you can't get a hold of me, if I'm like, if I respond and then I say I'll get back to you in a little bit, and I don't get back to you in a little bit, badger me, message the shit out of me. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Pester me. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's 2:00 in the morning. Message me. You know,
Oh yeah.
just send me a reminder. I forgot. You know, because I get
Yeah.
a million messages a day.
I'm the same way. I'm guilty of that. I forget
Yeah.
shit like that. So like sometimes I just need people to remind me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Let
it's,
me know. I don't forget people on
I don't
purpose.
forget
but
about you on
sometimes
purpose,
I just
yeah.
got shit going on and it distracts me and I'm,
yeah, I got the kids to deal with. I got work.
Yeah.
I got the studio. You know, sometimes after work, I'll come home. Kids are in bed. I'll come down here and tinker with stuff.
hell yeah.
I got a lot of recordings of things that I've done. And then when for some reason it updated and some of the VST stopped working, and you know, I was able to get some of them working back, like Logic Pro and a few other programs to work again.
Yeah.
There was another program I really wanted to work, and I gotta activate it. I think.
Yeah.
I just have to put the password in,
All right.
and
So have you so what for the people out there, what kind of like artists or like any super big name artists that if you worked with here or
nothing that I've personally worked with, but I know.
or
Steve
but
has.
like Steve's worked like I guess what I'm kind of saying is what like big artists have been in the studio and like
And we can call
recorded
Steve and
tracks
ask
here.
him. When we call Steve, we can ask him. We were gonna call him and ask him about.
Sure,
others.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think it would be cool to get the. I mean, he's the one that built this place, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that had the idea of the Blue Lagoon, and
Yeah.
I mean, all this equipment. He bought everything and came with the house.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What's up, brother?
Hey, Steve, how you doing, man? I'm on the Buffalo Experience podcast. We want to ask you a few questions. Is that cool?
Heck yeah, dude.
So go ahead, ask them.
Hey, Steve, I just wanted to ask you, what were like some of the biggest artists you've ever done any work with in the studio here?
Well, we had a hip hop guy from the city, Street Soprano, and he came through with Benny the Butcher one time.
Okay.
And I would say Benny would have been the biggest name that popped through down there.
Oh yeah.
But we had.
Oh, what was
You
that?
there?
Yeah.
Okay. You cut out for a second, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. Miley's got the baby. Yeah, Benny the Butcher was probably the biggest name on the hip hop side of things that came down. And then the Freebase Masons out of Nashville was another great band that came through, and we gave it a good go for a bed, breakfast, and beyond kind of atmosphere with them guys.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was telling them about that, how we came in and we just, they invited me down here to record and everything, and it was a good time. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, that
Oh,
sounds
heck
awesome.
yeah.
So what was your inspiration of starting this studio and the name too?
Well, I joined the Navy back in 1995, and 21 years later, I returned to Buffalo. I retired from the Navy, and I wanted to do some music, man. I found music probably 10 years before my retirement, and I didn't have a big opportunity to do too much with it, man. I was out to sea quite a bit.
Wow.
So,
Hey, they say the U.S. military is the biggest employer of musicians.
yeah, dude, there were some cool things that were going on when I was in contests I was entering and stuff.
Yeah.
It was kind of the American Idol thing going on at the time, and it seemed like everybody was already being handpicked, even on the military side of things. But for me, it was just the creative side of things. I just like creating. When I got to Buffalo, I got that place on a flip.
Okay.
It was run down. There were raccoons living in a giant hole in the ceiling.
Wow.
Up top, no joke.
It's
Really?
funny, I found some raccoon shit up in the attic.
Yeah, for sure you did. For sure. Big old gorilla raccoon was living in there. But yeah, I retired and got a little place. I was in Lancaster, and I got a job at Catalyst Gym for a couple months while I was going to school full time at Canisius for music.
Okay.
And I bought that place on a flip, and it was just bare bones, man. They took it down to nothing. They redid a bunch of stuff, and then when I got it, it was kind of a blank canvas. So I'd been doing some work in studio basements for a while. Out in Nashville was where I started out back in like 2009.
Okay.
And my buddy Mark Dreyer had a cool studio, but I was like, wow, it could be so much more, And I had a blank canvas down in that basement. There was nothing down there. They spray painted everything flat black and had just some run-of-the-mill little carpet on the floor. So I got back, and I was going to school for music, and I was going to switch over to Villa for the industry portion of my degree. I was building off of a business degree I got while I was an officer in the Navy.
Oh, okay. What was your rank? What was your MOS in the Navy?
I was a cook when I first joined in 95, and they had a sense of humor and made me an officer. In 2008, I became a logistics officer.
All right.
So I retired right before I put on 04. So I retired a lieutenant, and 03E was the pay grade.
Okay.
But the E just meant that I was prior enlisted, so I got paid out quite a bit more. I was getting paid probably commander pay when I retired. But yeah, it was a good deal, man. I had a good ride, and I fell in love with music. And I came back, and I said, man, I'm going to start a second life. I'm going to do music. And my best mate in the Navy's Uncle Tommy, was an old 80s rocker from back in LA in the 80s. And he ended up building a studio for Snoop Dogg and Mark in the Dark out in LA when we were in the Navy.
What were we just talking about this earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just kept bugging him for like 2 years. I was like, dude, just come out here. You know, you're doing contract work. He was doing contract work in LA. And we spent a lot of time together because I was stationed in San Diego most of my career. But finally, during COVID, man, he came and he stayed with me for a whole year. And I funded the project and just gave him ideas. And we did some research, and Wolfcraft Designs popped in. My good buddy Vinny out in the Finger Lakes, man, he was hand carving me crazy doors. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They love these.
So they hand carved doors.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Well, dude, there was a guy in Michigan who wanted to build me, and they do it probably for lots of places, vaults and whatever, but they were doing these acoustic like doors for a sound booth. But it would have been shipped out to Lockport. I was like, man, if I'm going to spend that much money on a soundproof door for that, we wanted the vocal booth to be crazy down there.
Right, yeah, it is pretty. The
know,
vocal
it was
booth literally has like suction to it when you open a door. It's like perfectly sealed.
Yeah, it's the real deal, man. And that just came from us, like going to people's home studio setups and having a spare bedroom with like some blankets around, being the vocal booth type thing. And I was like, no, the vocal booth's got to be where it's at.
Right.
And then we went with the Blue Lagoon theme. At the time, I was in a band called Smith Right Blue. And when we broke up, because our lead guitarist was a total dipshit, we went separate ways. I tried to get this guy back on track, and we did a little acoustic thing called Black and Blue. I was Steve Blue. He was Marcus Aurelius Black, I called him. But yeah, once that kind of happened, parallel to that in my degree, I said, let's just get a studio going, and what I'm learning in school, I'll be able to do real time, like all the way around. I'll be able to see what it's like to get an LLC going. What's it going to take? How many total gangster rap video shoots can I do at my place in West Seneca before the neighbors start going batshit crazy?
And don't forget the guy who went into the neighbor's house.
Oh, West OG, dude. West OG.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what happened?
West O.
What did he do?
He went into my neighbor Scott OG's house right next door.
Really?
At midnight. Yeah, he went on a run for Streets. West was a good guy. And Streets was a good dude. They got that image. I mean, they used to pay security. I mean, armed security would come, and they would do rap video shoots at that place you guys are at.
No
and
shit.
There'd be 100 gangbanging East Side dudes there, and 300-pound dudes strapping with guns, dude, walking around the perimeter of that house, making sure nothing was going wrong, and shooting everybody out as soon as I said. So it was like 11 o'clock, everybody gone.
Damn. Wow.
And yeah,
That's hilarious.
It was crazy. West O went on a Mickey D's run. And I got a picture. He came back in the house, and I was just talking to Street Soprano about, you can't come here with the whole dog pound. I was like, you can't. You just can't do it, dude. I know you guys are cool. You guys are respectful, but this place was in ruins before, and I know.
Look at, I got the picture pulled up right there. Look at.
Oh no, he's like,
that's Scott holding his pecker in his boxer shorts, dude. Shooting West O got all the way in his basement with a frickin' a little pint of Hennessy, and probably smelling like a bag of
like
days.
100 cheeseburgers.
That's hilarious.
Listen, man, Colin
That
went
is
crazy.
incredible, man. We got to tag the boys in this
Yeah,
because that
bro.
is funny.
I'm
Because
showing
was
that
pretty-
picture to you guys.
they know
All
who we
right.
are, actually. Streets and West OG, we know who they are. We did a show with them in August, so that's funny.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah,
dude.
it's so funny.
Nothing but love for them guys, man.
Yeah, for
But
sure, man.
When
good
it
dudes.
happened with West O, So yeah, the next morning was really, really exciting because I said, "Well, Scott's coming over in the morning," and them guys, they're like, "Well, we could go over there now and apologize." I go, "Listen, it's midnight. We need to diffuse the madness right now. Diffuse the madness. I'll take the hit." And sure enough, 7 a.m., man, the rap on the door, and I know it's Scott, and it was just a funny conversation, man. You know.
Yeah, because he probably could tell that Wesso was just he belonged there. So the neighbor was probably like, "What are you doing in my house?" He's like, "What happened to the studio?"
Right.
The story I got was Colin was back from college. Aaron is the older guy. The son that lives there, and he's trying to be a U.S. Marshal. I think he's an Amherst cop now or something.
Yeah, he's an Amherst cop now.
But the story was that Colin was back from college, and he was getting a late night weight session in. He was down in the basement, gonna lift some weights, pump some iron, and he pumped a little too much. And I know Colin, I worked with him a couple times, man, and he's a little fluffy when it comes to, you know, the old lady's going to take him in for lemonade while I'm humping mulch in a wheelbarrow. So he's downstairs. He gets a little nauseous, I guess. So he ran upstairs to puke while he was working out. And that's when Wes OG decided to go into the wrong house and caught Colin as he was coming back down to the basement to finish his workout. Wes was coming up the stairs, and Colin just started flipping out. He'd seen too many Boys in the Hood videos, probably. But Wes O's 110 pounds wet and wearing boots, man. So it was even funnier. And when he came over, he was so sorry that it happened. And I was like, the damage is already done, dude.
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to do, man? I mean,
yeah.
It's like,
honestly, he should just be happy left with his life. Because, like,
yeah, you never know.
You won't go into the, like, in my house at midnight, if you're in my house after midnight, literally, if you're in my house at any time and I didn't invite you, it's a problem.
Listen, that was the first conversation I had with them dudes.
Yeah.
And I said, and we've had crazy things go down. And them guys, there were other people that came through for photo shoots, and they brought some dog for show, this big American pit bull, and I'm crawling out.
Oh, I know this story. I heard this story. Yep, go ahead.
Emrod, yeah, Emrod got tore up down there.
Oh no, you go ahead and tell it though. They didn't hear it. He didn't hear it.
I've never heard it.
Emrod was coming through streets, brought Emrod around, Emily Rodriguez, and they just like the place as a backdrop. It's a cool. It's like a lot of the youngsters that would come through. They liked.
Yeah, it's a vibe here. You know,
it's a vibe, and it's great for social media, man. It's just like, hey, do you want a cool backdrop? People are going to go with it. Where the f- are you at?
Right.
So they were coming through to do a lot of that stuff. And I was pretty cool with it, you know, and I'm not a dog person. So they brought the dog. I was like, oh, it's best in show. It's got some paperwork. I don't know, the dude with the tattoos up to his earlobes doesn't give me a great vibe. That's bringing it. But yeah, we heard it growling, and I go, boy, they're really getting into the photo shoot down there. And then... And then it was like real, you know.
What happened?
She came up. You just got a confined space down there and a bright bulb flashing around and a big dog that's like, yeah, give me your arm.
Young girl. Yeah, she was only like 19 or 18 at the time. I'm just showing that's her, like, one of her newest songs.
Oh, okay.
I would actually like to get her on the podcast, but I'm just showing them what, you know, who she is. She's just a small young girl singer.
She just friended me the other day.
Yeah, she's a great. I mean, I met her like twice. I literally met her when she was like 17, and she was like the sweetest girl. Like, followed us all on Instagram. She has like 20K followers.
Okay, what's her name again?
Emrod, Emily Rodriguez, but she's a phenomenal singer. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a writing. She was brought through as a writing potential. I was doing a lot of songwriting. I really didn't want anything to do with running a studio. And the more that I got into the music program, I was really watching everything happen real time. I was getting to go, no, I'm not into that.
He's an excellent writer.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Hey,
So we wrote a couple tunes. Austin Fisher was producing down there. I was giving him a room upstairs, and he had free reign. And Emrod and him were working. I was just always in the backdrop. With Stacey Rain, she was another person that came down. That was a pretty big name. She was on Flow Rider's label.
Okay.
She came through, and we did the same thing. We kind of fished some beats and some music, some backdrop. We fished it out. Austin would produce it, and then he'd play it, and he'd kind of get a hook and an ear on some stuff, and then we'd go to work it. So it was like we were hustling, but we were there to work, man. I was there to write lyrics and figure stuff out and do parts of songs, and we were trying to make it more of a machine, really. Like we could just create. People come there to create. We could do song camps. And
I have a question for you then. So you've worked with like some big artists and you've worked with like some smaller artists. What's your favorite? You like working with the bigger artists? You like working with like the small people that still have like that drive?
Dude, I like people that, Grace Greenan.
I know Grace.
Her and I. Grace and I were in Canisius together. She was one of the first people that was having anything to do with the Blue Lagoon, really. It was me and her kind of
do remember that too, man. This is all starting to click now. Yeah.
Yep. Grace and I met, and I said, hey, I got a kooky idea. We were going to go to Nashville, and I was kind of writing country music at the time. And I don't know why I thought Grace might be into country music when I met her, because maybe a couple of the homegirls she had were country chick. But I was in opera workshop and all the music stuff at the school with them younger folks. But Grace was just doing her own thing and wanted to write her own thing. So I ended up with Savannah Swatland, and we wrote like a whole album, Ticket for Two, and had a bunch of stuff. But once you start doing numbers, and once people start talking about the reality of it, once people start shelling out money, it gets kind of kooky, man. And people get kind of cutthroat and greedy and weird stuff in the music spot,
Mm-hmm.
They were asking me, like what would be a good hourly rate, or what would one charge in the studio? What was being charged here, and what was Austin charging?
I don't know what Austin charged. Technically, for me to have that place per code, I couldn't charge house charge. So I literally could probably say that Austin handed me $100 one time in the entire time. So for me, it was more
Wow.
more of the experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the way we looked at it before we did the Freebase Masons was, what could I spend monetarily and logistically on food and stuff for a band to come through? How much time does it take for me to contact the band beforehand to find out food allergies and anything on the culinary professional side, likes, dislikes, to come up with some sort of a menu. And then what would I charge on top of that? Plus, if Austin wanted to put a package together, and then the post-production, how much time? And then you go, okay, I take all of that, and then I got to look at how much a band pays to get a hotel or to drive to and from a different city close by, and go, what's competitive? And by the end of it, I just went, it's never going to make a ton of money. You're just doing it for the love of doing it.
And that's what I was telling them.
Wow.
I'm not really charging, but the engineer, he'll charge, but I just want people to come in and do stuff to get this thing rolling, And, I've had a few people here and there but like, and Austin will come up and he'll spend some time here. And, and Austin's my resident engineer, Austin Fisher, and he's a great kid, and he's intuitive and he knows what he's doing. And you know, and like you said, like I'm not really charging anything. It's up to Austin if he wants to charge something. If he wants to break me off something,
Right.
go ahead. I just want people to come in and start using it.
Yeah, it's
that's
kind
awesome.
of free flow, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be that way
Yeah.
too, because if it really came down to it, and a couple of them neighbors were really getting the petition going.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, it became. It just became, man. It
Yeah.
was like I used to say that. They're like, dude, what are you doing? And I go, if you build it, they will come. And they came. They
Yeah.
came, bro. And I just sat back and went, I don't know who the is gonna come, but there's gonna be some musicians coming through here. So,
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
and they could take it as far as they can take it with
Exactly.
whatever's there to take it with. You know, Streets was kind of home base in it, and you don't, you know, I'm looking at it like, yo, this is kind of a home studio back then. I mean, it's Mark's home. And it's Mark's home studio.
Yeah.
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 You know,
No matter
so-
how great it is, it's still in the basement of his home, and it's
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
It's his home
for
base.
For me, I'm married to Mark's sister, and we were staying out in Arcade. So
Okay.
once I and we had an endless. There's always an endless line of people that need a place. I need a room, and it's only 2 months, and I'm a great cook, and
Right.
they're slobs, and they never really stay for 2 months. They're there for 10. And,
Yep.
and it's ugly when you tell them they gotta go.
Mhm.
And we cleaned the place up, like remodeled a lot of stuff, and kind of gave it a creative vibe throughout the whole joint. I said, man, I don't want it to just. I want the basement to puke up into everything.
Yeah.
That's it. Definitely worked, man. I took some video of the living room, and you could see the kitchen, and oh my god,
Yeah.
the stairwell going to the basement is freaking incredible. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude,
geez.
it's like a mining cavern,
Yeah.
you know. And
Oh, dude, I love it here.
that's a song we're going to work on in a couple weeks when we're out in Nashville.
Mining
Miners
Cavern.
Well. But a lot of the stuff in there was inspired by some of the songs we were writing and working on from different projects, and we were just flowing that artistic vibe through it. And
Oh, yeah.
then
Wow,
It was-
that's inspirational, man.
it was super cool, man. It was super cool. And the minute I met Mark, which was like this, I mean, it was like day 2 of meeting his sister, and she introduced me to her brother. And at the time, I was like upended, like, man, I just went on my first date. But Mark's fan, dude. And when I met Mark, I went, this is the dude that needs the keys to
Yeah.
you know,
Wow.
the torch.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm handing the torch off to a dude who, I came down to Tennessee, dude, to do Lagoon South. You guys got to come down here and do a podcast.
Oh, I would love.
Oh, that would be cool.
No,
Do that.
seriously, man. I was actually gonna say, man,
Really?
if you could give us a follow, man, it's the Buffalo Experience podcast on all platforms. This interview was supposed to be for Mark, but no,
Well,
this is just like cool. You got like a part 2 in Nashville. This is amazing.
I wanted him in it because
Yeah.
he blessed me with this beautiful home. And,
Oh my god,
You
yeah,
know, and I absolutely love it. And like,
dude.
he's
I
part of
love
my
it.
story. You know,
Hell yeah.
he's part of my story in my life. You know, and he blessed me with this. You know, to my family and I, and you know, and I'm taking very good care of it. You know,
Hell yeah.
like I told you guys earlier, how he gave it to me, and they just signed everything over to me and said, "Here, it's yours." And I'm like, "Wow."
We did like
Wow.
a Jack Black rock and roll contract too, dude. It's
Yeah.
like it's like Jack Black was standing there with some AC/DC for those about to rock shit going on.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, the power of rock and roll shall always maintain. Like it was pretty fun doing. I mean, it was super fun doing it. A couple years back, I went and changed my last name to Blue. Man, we made it legit. So it was like, I'm not just gonna tell people I'm Steve Blue. Like, so
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Some people really got upended by it, and then like I meet some people and they're like, "Oh, my brother drew for Disney, dude." Like, yeah, a lot of people do that. I go, yeah, I like your brother. I like weird people that do shit. I guess I don't know.
Man,
know?
life is too short to be boring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and like, I mean, there's greens out there, there's browns, there's whites. I like colors, you know.
I love it.
So-
man. It's
Call me
amazing.
Davy
Yeah.
Green.
I'm glad you guys are there, man, and I'm glad it's being utilized for the greater good, dude, and the Buffalo good.
Hell
And-
yeah, it was good talking to you, and we appreciate you giving us some of the backstory and all that for the studio.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. I mean, dude, there's crazy lots of backstories. There's backstories on me starting music, and I'm sure Mark's got tons of backstories. So
Oh yeah,
you
Mark's
guys-
got so many stories.
You guys get it set, man, and it'd be a fun trip, dude, to have you guys out, man. You guys would be smacking knee deep in the middle of my fam and all this stuff going on here, but you guys would probably love it, man.
Oh,
Hell
it
yeah.
would. It would be amazing.
You guys get to do some music and stuff, right?
Yeah, we
You
were
guys
just
got-
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah, we were able to mess around with the equipment, and I actually brought my buddy King Taco. He's an artist, R&B singer, so he's a phenomenal singer. So it was nice to have him just singing on the mic. We like tracked some vocals just to test it out and stuff. And,
Oh yeah.
it was really cool to have him test the stuff out with with his voice being so good, you know.
Oh, heck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
it was great, dude.
You got to get Mark one of these nights to fire them JBLs up, man, and get a live rehearsal going in there and just blow
Oh, yeah,
that
we
place
will.
down.
Love to. Yeah,
So
it's
you
cool,
guys
man.
be safe, dude. And Mark, man, big hugs, dude.
Big hugs.
Everybody, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much, Steve. It was
Yeah.
nice talking to
We'll
you.
talk to we'll talk to you guys, man.
All right, you be safe.
All right, you have
Love
a good
you.
night.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.
This is the Buffalo Experience podcast. I'm rolling with Big Dave.
And I'm Moteeks.
And I'm Mark Sinsel, Blue Lagoon Studios.
Oh
Yeah.
moisture.
Moist.
Weird.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.
We was never meant to be. Girl, how many times have I told you? Playing all these games, this is old news. I don't understand what you're staying for. Baby, to the edge, I can't take no more. I've been on levels, but I can't get enough for your love, and I can't get enough for your touch. But it's over. This is crazy. Hey, hey.
So you twisted the